Continue now with our lead story, the Trump press conference today. Joining us from Midtown Manhattan, John Roberts is covering the president-elect. So I want the inside stuff, Roberts. First off, the CNN reporter Jim Acosta got shot down by the president-elect. Was Acosta angry?
Shot down not just once, but a number of times as he continued to try to press Trump into at least giving him the opportunity to ask a question. It had become clear to me, Bill, about an hour and a half before that press conference, that CNN was likely going to get iced out. An aide to Trump suggested to me that there are a lot of people in the front row that aren't going to get to ask a question. I took that to be CNN based on the fact that they had published the report about Trump, and they were the first ones to publish it as well. Did Acosta get angry? I don't think he got angry. I think he got rather frustrated. I've known Jim for a long time. We go back to our days at CBS. We were also at CNN together. And I've had a long relationship with him, and he's a dogged reporter who wants to get a question in. He's also the White House correspondent for CNN. And as a White House correspondent, you want to be able to ask a question of the president, or in this case, the president-elect. And if you get boxed out the way Donald Trump boxed out the Washington Post earlier this year, the way President Obama boxed out Fox News in the early days of his administration, you do tend to get a little bit frustrated.
Okay, but I don't understand what CNN was doing in the front row if the Trump people were angry with them and didn't want to answer their questions. How did they get the seat?
Oh, well, I got the inside dope on that, too. It was basically a free-for-all in there, Bill. There was no assigned seating. Unlike a presidential press conference, or at least the way they have been conducted, we don't know how Donald Trump is going to conduct his, where everybody gets a reserved seat. It was basically first come, first served. Somebody from CNN came in at about 5:45 this morning and slapped down 6 or 8 placards on most of the plum seats there. We had to fight to get a seat in the front row, and we only had one seat, and that was for me,
so
as opposed to them peppering it with 3 correspondents and a number of producers.
Okay.
And that's how they got in the front row.
All right. Now, the controversy, the Trump people are mad in civilian terms, okay? Why are they mad at CNN? CNN didn't put out all the salacious details. BuzzFeed did.
No.
All right. So why is the Trump administration so angry at CNN?
I think probably because CNN was first. They were the ones that got the leak from someone in the intelligence community that Trump had been handled that 2-page summary of the salacious and other damaging allegations that were contained in that report. And so he's, I believe, blaming them because they were the ones that led the way on this. It's true that BuzzFeed put out a lot more than CNN did. You'll notice what he said about BuzzFeed, calling it a failing pile of garbage.
But that's not on the level at CNN.
He didn't call CNN
but I want to stay on this. I want to stay on this. Okay. All right. So the intelligence agencies, that's who Donald Trump compared to the Nazis. They issued a report, a 2-page report they gave to Donald Trump, which said, hey, over in Russia, there are some people saying these terrible things about you. They're unsubstantiated. That's what they're just saying. Trump saw it. Then somebody, that's what you just said, John, somebody leaked that to CNN. Is that correct?
Yeah, what's interesting about all of this, too, Bill, is that a lot of this stuff has been circulating for a long time among journalists, among politicians on Capitol Hill. Yeah, Senator McCain had it. He turned it over to the FBI. Harry Reid saw it. He demanded an investigation. But I think it's the fact that CNN was the first one to actually go ahead and publish this and raise it to the level it did. That was really what really
because we're going to talk about that with Bowling and Rivera.
And he just decided I'm going to ice you out.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that with Bowling and Rivera and Bernie Goldberg, just so the audience knows where I'm coming from. If I get something unsubstantiated about any public figure, all right, I wouldn't even attempt to do it on a private figure. I usually don't use it. I usually don't use it at all because smearing is too easy in this country and it's too casually accepted, and the press does it all the time. Final question for you. Trump looked to me to be in control of the press conference. He didn't look nervous. I didn't see much of a difference between him today and then him on the campaign trail. Was there one?
No, there wasn't really much of a difference. I mean, there was a difference between him now and how he was during some of the debates and how he's been during some press conferences. I think the wealth of experience that he gained over the general election campaign and having all of these meetings with all these people here at Trump Tower has given him a sense of confidence and experience in the public view that he didn't have before. I mean, today's press conference was something else, Bill.
I know.
I've been to a lot of presidential press conferences, and I haven't seen anything like that.
Would you say that it's fair to say he was in command out there?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
He absolutely he was in command, and
All
that's
right.
the way it's going to be going forward. Bill, this is going to be an interesting 4 years from my perspective, sitting in that front seat at the White House. No question.
I hope you don't like sleeping, Roberts. I hope you don't like that. I hope you're good on 2 or 3
Nah,
hours.
it's overrated.
So, all right, John Roberts, directly ahead. Donald Trump, obviously furious about fake news. We'll discuss the issue with Bowling and Rivera, as mentioned. And later, is Hollywood falling apart? Dennis Miller has some thoughts on that. Miller's a Hollywood kind of guy, as you know. As the factor continues all across the USA, all around the world.